This is America. The greatest atrocity against mankind. American chattel slavery. If you traced your lineage, what would you find? Do you know where your roots lead to?
Grace and peace, Black family. This is Vicki Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. And I want you to get ready for the new Master Elements project, The Spear and the Shield.
This vaccine isn't experimental. It's like a dandelion. You overlook it for their weird science.
DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love the God have taken this time during the pandemic to carefully craft the soundtrack to Black empowerment with hot tracks like God Mine, featuring Sadat X of the legendary group Brand Nubians.
We never die. I made an ancestral shrine. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen, I'm a law in the person of Sincere Love the God. That mean your arms too short like Carl Anthony Shaw.
God Painted Me Black.
God painted me black, thanks for that. I'm a original man.
A letter to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
I say to the ancestors, dear Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, I just wanted to thank you for all the lessons you left us. So yes, I'm more than grateful.
And the controversial song Buck Breaking God Today.
Why every black show they gotta have a transgender? Either I'm crazy or there's gotta be a planned agenda.
Get ready, Black family. This is a much needed project. This is The Spear and the Shield.
They really don't come out there. They don't tell us about what the slave theater has done and how it has moved from place to place and how it still remains black. You may be the only organization in this country that has been able since the 60s to remain black. You may be the only. You may be the only. And you know, that is a sad commentary on our piece, on our people, that anybody else can remain whatever they want to be. You know, the Irish can have what they have. The Italians got St. Patrick's Day. The Jews have theirs. You know, you just go down the line. But whenever black folk get together, somehow they just gonna become afraid that we are there to do what they would do if they were in our place. And that is that if they had been oppressed, as long as they have oppressed us, they would be naturally afraid to meet, because we would wonder what are they going to do. So they really believe that we're vindictive, evil people and would give them exactly what they deserve. And perhaps one day we will. Perhaps one day we will come to that point. I hope that this is the thing. And I'm certainly happy to tell you that our leader here, Brother Maddox, who's not with us tonight, remains one of the most perceptive. I think he remains one of the most articulate and one of the outspoken critics of racism in this country. Because let me tell you, the brother's voice has not been silenced because some corporations ask him to come and settle disputes and he ends up with more than the black employees. And do I need to call any names? You all know how this kind of thing happens. Brother's voice has not been silenced because not only did they give him a steak, they're now banging him out with hamburgers and French fries, whatever it takes to do that. Brother's voice is now being heard on our coast and also in Africa, which I think is very, very important. And one of the reasons why I'm always happy to come to this organization, because you're the only black organization, again, that understands to put race first. Race first. Race first. And I've had some white folks to tell me that I was a flaming militant, a radical, or whatever all of these names were that they called me. And I said that I am very pleased that you called me a nationalist, because you could have said that I was a member of the NAACP of the Urban League. So I said, I'm very pleased of the names that you have given. But I said that because we put race first, something is wrong with us. But everybody else puts their own first because God blessed the child who has his own. And so I think that race first is very important. And though we meet in a different venue, we're not at the slave theater, we're not at the church, we're now at the Masonic Temple, it really does not matter where we are physically. It matters where we are in our minds. And wherever we meet, as long as we know that we're Africans and as long as we know that we are black people living here in America, we know exactly who we are. You notice you can put an Uncle Tom in any venue in the White House, you can even put him in his, he's gonna still be a Tom. You can put them anywhere you want. Well, it's the same thing with us who are strong people. Wherever we are, we're going to be the people that we need to be. And I know that this is our Women's History Month, and that's why I'm certainly happy to see sisters. And this is the only place you can come in this country where you don't find a room full of sisters who are still sitting here waiting to exhale. Can you imagine something like that? Be sitting there waiting to exhale. Because we know we have exhaled ever since we came through the middle passage of the Holocaust of our enslavement, and I'm glad to see that. This is the only place you can come where you'll see that these sisters are true mothers of the universe. See, a lot of folks wonder who are the mothers and who gave life to every living creature, but we know we are the mothers. I realize we don't always like to claim our children because who always wants to claim Whoopi Goldberg and Dennis Rodman? But we do know that as the mothers of the universe, sometimes we have to do that. I'm happy to come before the sisters of Isis and the sisters of Nefertiti and the sisters of Nzinga and the sisters of Harriet Tubman. And the reason why I say Harriet Tubman, the way you've had to move from one location to another, it reminds me of Harriet Tubman. When Sister led that Underground Railroad, some of us, when she got about 3, 4, 5, 100 of us out, do you know some of those Negroes wanted to turn around and run back into slavery because they were so happy and so pleased with the master taking care of them? Sister put her hand on her hip and said, I'll shoot you myself before I let you turn around and run back into something like this. She made that very, very clear to them exactly what she would do to them. You also came from Sister Ida B. Wells, who drew the attention to this world, not just to this country, of the unnecessary lynchings of black men in the 19th century. That white men were doing things they should have been lynched 5 times over for, but instead they wanted to lynch the brothers. She's the one who brought the attention. Then there's our Sada Shakur, and not to mention our own dear Queen Mother Moore, that I hope that we always remember, our sisters of her. And so to the women in this room that I know that you have worked hard, I know you have persevered, I know you have to put up with a lot of stuff. Because I know when a lot of women sit on television talking about there is a glass ceiling, they don't know if their faces were black, the ceiling would be mahogany, and you cannot move a mahogany ceiling. But to those of you who have survived and persevered and stood by our people, stood by men, stood by our families, and stood by our communities, and most importantly, our race, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Let us do that. Let us do that.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious. So I move. What's good? What's good, family? What's good? We are here.
There we go. Let me get some more light in here.
You good?
Good. Peace, everybody.
Peace
Happy
to the family.
Sunday.
B1, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God, Sincere Love, here on another Sunday with my lovely co-host, nyctegur. Y'all know
queen.
how we do it.
Y'all queen.
Yes, indeed. Y'all see her. That big old forehead glistening.
No forehead up here. I know ain't nobody saying nothing. Is that a great black shirt talking about my head again?
No, that was me. What's going on? How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? Great Black Shark in the building. Paris LaShawn, I see you, family. What's that? Crew Royalty, FBA, B1. Shout out to everybody checking us out, man. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share this out. Hold up.
He always playing.
Make sure that y'all share this out on your social media platforms right now. Let everybody know that we are live. Click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. If you are watching us on Facebook or Twitter, make sure you head on over to the YouTube channel and subscribe if you are watching us for the first time as well. But shout out to everybody joining us live. Shout out to everybody checking us out on the replay. Before we get started, a couple of shout outs, announcements, before we get started with today's broadcast. I had to open it up, want to hear a good word from one of the queens, one of the true queens that we acknowledge around here, Miss Julia Hare, dropping some gems right there, and she was shouting out a lot of the historical queens,
right?
So, you know what I mean, that we also acknowledge as well. So had to start off today's show with that type of energy, just to make sure we bring some good balance, since we got to talk about some of these other so-called queens, quote unquote,
Queen of genocide
out here. You know what I'm talking about?
No, if that's what she's the queen of, we can acknowledge the her being the queen of genocide, on black people.
Yes, indeed. But before we do all that, let me shout out another queen, our sister Crown 808. Shout out to my sister Crown 808. I don't know if she's in the chat right now, but you guys make sure you following her on Instagram at Crown 808. She's a virtual assistant. She has virtual assistant services. She does everything from HR. She's an HR generalist. She can handle your emails, your calendar, your events, travel, so on and so forth. She does research projects. She's a project manager, proposals and contracts, board of directors liaison, and strategic thought partner. She helps us out a lot here on the GodCast, and we appreciate all that she does. And we hope that you all, business owners out there, social media influencers or whatever, if you're looking to add somebody like that to your team, make sure you holler at our sister. She could be reached at 205-509-7083, 205-509-7083, or you can email her info@crowned808.com, info@crowned808.com, and the IG and Facebook is Crowned808. So tap in with our sister.
Very thorough sister. Make sure you guys support her. Reach out.
Yes, indeed. And then next.
And she's pretty too. I just want to throw that out there because sometimes people don't like to work with ugly people. Let's just be clear.
This is true.
When a person does not kind of, look right, she's gorgeous.
This is true. We got to keep that a buck. You know what I mean? But let me see. Hold on a second here. All right. Let me share this out. Also, we still dealing with the what's going on, Calvin? You on the left coast right now? Okay. Shout out to my brother Calvin out there.
What's the left coast?
Huh?
What's the left coast?
Ain't that y'all? Ain't the west? Ain't the west the left? Yeah, that's y'all. That's West Coast. Oh. I don't know where my brother is at right now. I know he told me he was going to be traveling, but I forgot where he said he was going. So we still dealing with the crisis down in Jackson, Mississippi, with the water down there looking crazy, looking like a third world country down there. So we have to shout out our brother who's doing good things out here. Moses West Foundation. This is the page. Do I got it up there? Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the page where y'all could donate to make sure this brother gets the proper resources that he needs to help out, not only with what's going on in Jackson, but just so we could be proactive, when it comes to these type of situations, period. You know what I'm saying? This brother has been sounding the alarm for a while about the oncoming water crisis and things of that nature. He was helping out down there in Flint. Somebody tried to sabotage one of his machines. Well, they did sabotage one of his machines out there, which, I've heard him explain that was a professional hit job. It wasn't just no random vandalism that took place. Somebody knew what they was doing. They knew exactly how to dismantle the machine. But for those of y'all that don't know, he builds these machines that basically makes water out of thin air, clean, fresh water out of thin air. And so he's been supplying free water to the people in need down there in Jackson. And so he needs our help. So go to the MosesWestFoundation.org. And this is the page right here where you can donate to the cause.
And again, nobody's coming to save us, family. We are all we got. So it's very important that we support those that are out there on the ground, boots on the ground, helping our people. As you can see, y'all favorite Democrat, Joe Biden, has not sent any resources out there. He's leaving it up, I guess, to the mayor or the governor out there, who has not done anything at all, to help the people out there. So it is literally grassroots organizations, and donations such as ours that are sending the water out there to the people, and not just water, but other needs that the people need, because children need formula, they need toiletries, they also need hand sanitizers and other things like that. So, it's not just water, because, these people you can't do anything without water. You can't cook, you can't live without water. So again, no one is going to come help us but us. So it's very important that we get all the way behind organizations, that are boots on the ground and helping and assisting our people. So please, please, please support.
Facts. And so just read this quick statement that they have on the site here. Jackson, Mississippi has a current estimated population of 180,000 plus people who have lost complete access to running water and clean, usable water. The current situation facing the region is a critical emergency. Jackson is currently relying heavily upon scarce supplies of bottled water. The Moses West Foundation purpose is to provide support, assistance, and free, clean, drinkable water in crisis situations. The people of Jackson, Mississippi are suffering, and we will be there. Moses West, a former U.S. Army Ranger, has a vision of water being a human right, a necessity that can and must be provided to those in need. He founded the Moses West Foundation to make that vision a reality. In tandem, the Moses West Foundation and AWG Contracting utilize the most technologically advanced atmospheric water generators manufactured right here in the U.S. to provide clean and fresh water to all of those in need.
Shout out to this man, brilliant mind, another Black brilliant mind, using that beautiful Black brilliant mind to do something to help his people, and not just Black people, because he's helping everybody out there.
Right, all over the world.
All over the world. So it's just important that we get behind this and support this, 1000%, a little goes a long way. So whatever you can do now, do it now. And if you can donate more later, do that.
Yes, indeed. And if you go to his Instagram page, what's the Instagram page? Is it at Moses West?
Moses West Foundation as well.
At Moses West Foundation. Click the link in his bio. That'll bring you here to the link tree where you can find, everything that they got popping. The Jackson Water Rescue Mission, message from Moses. You can support the foundation overall and check out some of the other press stuff that he's done. Hopefully we can get him on the GodCast.
I've been working on it, by the way. That's we have corresponded, by the way, so I'm still working on that. So you guys reach out, let him know, he needs to get on the GodCast. But again, we have been in communication.
No doubt. Shout out to everybody that already donated. I've donated as well. I'll be donating again.
Absolutely.
I appreciate what the brother is doing. Every little bit counts. You know what I'm saying? Every little bit
counts. Sometimes my mom traveled last week to Reno. And so, of course, Reno, Nevada, the same thing as Vegas, basically. So she went out there to gamble. And so I'm telling her about what's going on, because it's really not all over the news. We see more of it on social media, I think, than anything. So I'm telling her about it. She saw little clips here and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, enjoy your trip when you leave tomorrow. And she came back and she was like, can I give you some money to give to those people? Because I can't see myself just gambling and leaving and knowing I didn't do anything, to support this cause. And I was like, sure. So she gave me the cash and I went ahead, because she don't use computers and stuff. And I went ahead and sent it. So even I got my mom involved. And then I hear her on the phone and stuff with her little friends and stuff, all in their 70s, and telling them the same thing. You guys need to support, this mission, because nobody is coming to rescue those people, and it's up to us. We waste so much money on other things fun, because again, she didn't bring no money back, y'all. She didn't win one jackpot, but she can feel great about before she left here on the plane, she gave, and that was her whole thing. She gave before she left.
Shout out to Big Mama.
Shout out to Big Mama. That's right. And
that's what I was going to say. Every little bit counts. A lot of times we feel like if we don't got a lot of money to donate, that it doesn't mean anything. But, a lot of us doing a little goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you can afford to send, you know what I mean? It will help.
It will help. It is helping, I don't know if you guys or any of you have been following. I know some of you in the chat have and already have donated, and thank you for that. But if you're following this man on social media, you can already see the impact that he's already made, and still making that impact. But again, we have to donate to make sure that those resources are able to continue to come. And for the next state, because unfortunately, this is happening kind of, everywhere. If I'm not mistaken, there's a situation going on in Baltimore right now with something with the water. You know what I mean? So, Mississippi can be fixed tomorrow, but who knows what's going to happen in the next day. So we have to support into this foundation and others, if you know of any. That way, when something happens, we can be the first ones on the ground to help our people. Because as you can see, Joe Biden has been giving money to everybody, non-American citizens, billions and billions of dollars, and he has yet to get out there and help the people in Mississippi. And we all know why that is, because Jackson, Mississippi is predominantly Black.
And also, man, you know, I hope this brother has proper security and is keeping his head on a swivel, because you know what I'm saying, he's doing a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying, but that's not always looked upon favorably. You know, as you can see, when you see something like this will let you know that our government ain't shit, that these big corporations ain't shit, because why wouldn't they want to get behind this technology and you know, fund it so that it could be mass produced? You know what I'm saying? If they really was concerned about helping people genuinely, why not get behind something like this and make it so that these machines could be mass produced, so that we could nip a lot of this shit in the bud? You know what I'm saying? You could nip a lot of this shit in the bud overnight. Overnight. You know what I'm saying? It would create jobs. It would do a lot. You know what I'm saying? And one sweep in motion, you could create a lot of situations. You know what I mean?
I think I have an answer to why they haven't gotten behind it, because when these crises happen, it's in predominantly Black areas, so they just don't give about us. Let's keep it a buck.
And the crises don't just happen; these are engineered situations that are taking place. You know what I'm saying? And so when the crises happen, it's something that they want to happen. You know what I mean? Right. And so that's the reason why they're not concerned with really helping. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I would like to see it get to a point where he's able to mass produce these machines. And, you know, he should be, you know, one of the richest men on the planet with this technology right here.
Right.
He should be one of the richest men on the planet. You know how many places all over the world could use this technology? All over Africa, where they could use this technology. All these third world places where they don't got clean running water.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I modded you up, Great Black Shark. I know you be in and out the chat, but whenever you can, you know what I'm saying? I gave you your wrench so you can help us out. Appreciate you, good brother. So where we going, man? We gonna talk about this witch.
Oh, the Wicked Witch of where she at? The UK? Is that where she is? London, England, whatever the heck.
Great.
I can't call her queen. I'm sorry, Elizabeth old ass. Elizabeth old ass kicked the bucket the other day. You know, I remember there was rumors, if I'm not mistaken, this was maybe a few months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, where what's his name? Jason, I can't think of his name, from Hollywood Unlocked. And he did this big announcement that she had passed away months ago.
I forgot about that.
It was like some scandal. He was like, I'm not taking it down off my social media because my sources are good, you know, blah, blah, blah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, you know, it was kind of rumored that she died a few months ago, you know, right after her husband, as a matter of fact.
Now, since that little scandal, whatever case may be, was she seen in public between then and now?
I don't recall seeing her in public. I recall seeing her son. You know, they were focusing on the grandchildren. They kept saying that it was just a rumor, you know, and, you know, she was home resting and all this kind of stuff. It was always she's resting, but she's good. Here we are now.
Man, that's interesting. I forgot about that situation, but I remember when you said it, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he refused to take it down. He was like, no, I know my sources and my sources wouldn't lie. Like, I'm not taking it down. And he didn't.
That sassy ass nigga was
he didn't take
10 toes.
Yeah, he was 10 toes on it. So, yeah, I mean, was she already, you know, gone? We don't know, because, you know, they got to get all, you know, that stuff situated before they make announcements a lot of times. I was just finding out, as a matter of fact, I was listening again because I get so distracted during the week when I'm trying to listen in on spaces. But Dewan B had our brother Randy Short on there. And I'm finding out that, you know, how her son is going to be the king, right? But these are things that are not necessarily inherited or passed down. So I found that interesting because they're already calling him king. But if it's something that you don't inherit now, I don't know if there's a voting system or something like that, how the people in the UK make these decisions out there. But if it's something that you don't just inherit these positions, then why are they already calling him king? Like, I just learned that, you know, from him. It's really, really weird. It's really weird. And also learning that, you know, different countries in the diaspora, as well as Africa or whatever, they don't have to be part of the monarchy either. These are choices that they make, which is weird too.
Yeah, because on paper they're independent. On paper,
Right.
the colonial rule has ended decades ago in most of these places. But yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, it's a choice. But also, also remember, these are puppet leaders that have been put in place. You know what I'm saying, by Western powers in the first place. So of course they're going to choose, to be under the British crown or whatever they call it. But yeah, man, the mental colonization is heavy, man. It's the worst. It's the worst because again, we're not even going to spend too much time talking about this because number one, I really don't give a damn.
At
I
all.
really, really, really have zero feelings about this whatsoever.
May
You know what I
she rest.
mean? I really don't care. You know what I mean? But we got to talk about what's going on, and I couldn't think of another story to use for the headline, so we chose that. And
Yeah,
so I ain't got that much to say about her or this situation, but I'll let our brother Julius Malema say what needed to be
I
said.
love this dude.
I'll let him say what needed to be said, and then we can move on. How about that?
To leave this
Very
mind
good.
without saying to Britain and everybody else who care, we do not mourn the death of a colonizer and a murderer who came and killed our people, and she's wearing proudly a stolen goods on her head. We have nothing to do with the queen. Le le bolaileng batho ba rena ba utswa di-minerale tsa mo Afrika, ba utswa di-minerale tsa all over Africa. Today, people tweet, hey, we mourn the queen. But when Helen Zille tweeted and said that not everything is bad about colonialism, you all said Helen Zille is a racist. How can she praise colonialism? By mourning and praising the queen, you are celebrating colonialism. You are not different from Helen Zille. We were not colonized by the land called Britain. We were colonized by the leadership of Britain that killed our people. So we must not be asked to do wrong things here. We are very clear. The queen does not represent anything good. Britain has got a lot of gold, yet they don't have a single mine of gold. Those are stolen goods. We must talk about reparation. We must talk about the return of the gold. We must talk about the return of the stolen diamond, and not these other side issues which are not important to us. How can you be oppressed for so many years? After liberation, you've got nothing to show that we have been liberated. You have no land, you have got no bank, you've got no mind. The only thing you have is a hatred of other Africans. It was this queen who gave us surnames, by the way. This Britain, we did not have surnames. We were calling each other Kadireto Jarina. The surnames and the addresses, we did not have an address because they move up from year to year according to the seasons. So today we are given address, we are given borders, we are given surnames because we must be controlled by a certain nation which we must celebrate. We, as black people, everywhere else we are one thing.
Man, man,
I'm saying, if all of them thought like that,
right, right. Man, multiply
said
that
reparations.
brother by a couple million.
When he said reparations, I was like, yes, sir, that's it. That's what we all need to be chanting right now. Everybody
Right.
in this uniform right now needs to be chanting the same thing.
Wherever you at on the earth.
Wherever you at.
You know what I'm saying? He's talking about we supposed to be independent. We ain't got no land. We ain't got no banks. They got control of all the minerals and the resources. What we talking about here? What we celebrate? What we mourning over here? Come on, man. Shout out to Julius Malema, man. A real one.
A real one.
A real one. Yeah, Julius was a student of Winnie Mandela. Winnie was a rider. Winnie was the real rider. You know what I mean? She was about that life. For real,
I have
for
to
real.
say this now. If I see one more African or Caribbean on social media crying, like literally snotting, y'all, real tears, talking about this woman. And I'm like, do y'all think that you guys are some type of honorary Brits or something like that? Half of them look dusty, missing teeth and everything. Like, she don't obviously care about getting y'all dinner plans.
It's amazing.
Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's embarrassing. I'm just going to say it. It's embarrassing.
Man. Yeah, I met a young brother from South Africa the other day, too. You know, everybody going back to school around this time of the year, so we get a lot of exchange students, a lot of the foreign exchange students coming over. So I've been meeting a lot of some of the African exchange students coming over. One young brother was from South Africa. Him and his little brother came over together. He was a real cool brother. We was chopping it up. I was bringing up some of the issues just to see where his mind was at. But it seems the South African brothers tend to be on cold, man. The South Africans tend to be on cold. Like, he was right in alignment. You know what I mean? And he said something that was interesting too, because I was like just mentioning how a lot of the issues that they have in South Africa seem to be parallel to our issues that we have over here. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with tethers and all of this shit. And he was like, not only that, he was like, the people in South Africa, he was like, everybody try to copy off of y'all.
Ooh.
I was like, what you mean? He was like, the way that we dress, the way that we get our haircuts, like the music that we listen to. He said, we look up to y'all, Black Americans.
Somebody want to tell Fat Joe?
20 years old, fresh out of South Africa. Been here for like a month.
But we have no culture. Isn't that what Busta Rhymes said? We have no culture.
All right.
So interesting that people way in South Africa kind of feel like we do and mimicking the culture.
And have no problem giving it up, paying homage. Right. Have no problem about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just said it casually. You know what I'm saying?
I love when they're honest. I love when they're honest. Shout out to South Africa.
For sure.
Oh, I want to, before we get into our events, current events or whatever, and start talking about what's circulated in the news as it pertains to us, I also want to give a shout out to Teslyn Figaro, because she did have her Pushed in Line summit
this weekend.
This weekend. It looks like it was very, very successful. It was a lot of brothers and sisters out there, and I'm just so proud of her, for what she accomplished with that event. So I'm hoping that, with this event, more is to come. And a lot of people are saying they learned a whole lot of stuff where they can now get boots to the ground and get to work, because we already know, the goal is reparations. The goal is also to, raise our own candidates, basically, that are going to get out here and get into these political positions so they can do the bidding for us specifically as foundational Black Americans. So again, I want to also, send a shout out to Teslyn for the good work that she's doing out there in Atlanta. Hope that she can move this around city to city. Hopefully, maybe she can get out here to LA as well. So shout out to Teslyn and the good work that she's doing.
Yes, indeed. And I wanted to talk to Brother Raheem to get some details on how everything went down with that, because I was signed up and tapped in, but I was take 7 to work with me day yesterday, so I did that. But I was looking at some of the trainers that they had in the lineup and all of that, and reading their bios and stuff like that. And there was a couple of things that stood out to me, so I just wanted to talk to Raheem to get some details on how everything went. So we'll see what's up with that. But shout out to Teslyn, though. Shout out to Teslyn.
All right, so we're gonna get on up into the news. I guess I'll
Godspeed, King Gravity, Kid Gravity. Godspeed, brother. Heard you just had the surgery. What kind of surgery you got done, by the way?
Yeah, something with his nose. He had I think a deviated septum, if I'm not mistaken. He better not come back over here on screen and his nose is pinched like some of these people out here in LA. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Kid Gravity. I'm just kidding. Don't you come up in here, looking crazy now.
Septoplasty, yeah, that sounds like a nose job. Septoplasty, yeah, sound like a nose job, brother. I don't know. I have to check you out. We're gonna need some before and afters.
Right. Don't come back in your nose extra pinched. I want to talk about, so this was on the jazzmembrane.com. So this actress, of course, she wears the uniform. Gina Torres speaks on feeling trapped in a box as a Latino woman in African-American roles. Right. Don't accept them. Simple. Right. Don't accept them. If you got, I'm looking to play myself, a Latina. Right? Don't accept the roles because you're taking out the mouths of Black Americans, or Black people that want those roles. So if you feel some kind of way about playing Black and you clearly Black as hell, don't take the role.
And this is the thing about this whole shit. Like, we've been trying to tell all of y'all dark-skinned Hispanics that y'all not really considered Latinas and Latinos to the Latin community. They're not talking about y'all. We pointed that out a few times on here. You know what I'm saying? When we pulled up pictures of what the Hispanic caucus looks like here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, even what she's pointing out with the roles that they get in Hollywood, who they actually get to play these Latina roles. They get the whitest looking people they could find, the most Italian looking Hispanics that they could find. They even a lot of the white Latinas and Latinos that are in Hollywood, a lot of them play white roles and they don't feel trapped doing that.
Right.
You don't hear them complaining about, damn, I always got to play somebody white. Why I can't be who I am? You know what I'm saying? They gladly play these white roles, but she's upset because she doesn't get casted in Latina roles because she's a Negro.
And that's what you're going to be cast as, a damn Negro. Ooh.
And it's weird because her parents are from Cuba, right? Now, when I went to Cuba, but it was only for one day. I was on a cruise. We get off the ship for one whole day. But still, for that entire day, everywhere I went, the Black people there acknowledge their Blackness. They love being Black. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell them nothing else. As soon as they see you, they pointing out to you how similar we are. They're like, oh, you from America? Look, we the same, right? They can't speak English that good, but that's what they trying to say. Like, yo, we the same, right? Like, look, me and you, we the same. You know what I mean? Like, everywhere I went, that was the energy. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful people. But for some reason, the ones that come over here, they want to be something else. They want to be something else. I don't understand that dynamic.
Well, she may want to get some cake soap, you know what I'm saying, or something, straighten that hair out, and maybe see where that takes her. But right now, you look like a nigress. You're going to get cast as a nigress, and if you don't like it, find something else to do.
And if she has a gripe, fine, but your gripe should be with the Latino community. They're the ones that's not accepting you. Mm-hmm. You've been playing Black all this time. Nobody had a problem with it. We see your last name. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never complained. Nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful woman, good actress, and all of that. We never tried to say, why are you playing our roles and none of that. But the community that's not accepting you is the one that you want to be embraced by so bad. So that's who your gripe should be with.
Right, not us.
What's up, son?
Y'all know Seven likes to make his appearance now.
Right.
All right, so moving on. CNN.com. U.S. soldier kicked out of Army after FBI says he enlisted to become better at killing Black people. Black grassroots been talking about this for a long time. FBI has stated many times that these white supremacists and organizations have infiltrated both law enforcement as well as the military. So we're really not surprised. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like, what's their vetting system before they get in here?
Right.
How do you find out where their mindset is before they get in here?
But listen, West Point, which is near where I'm from in New York, on Orange County, New York. West Point is one of the main military bases in the country. And on the doorway entrance to one of the buildings, there's a plaque of a Klansman right now hanging on the doorway that they're not trying to take down. Been there for decades. I don't know how many decades. But they have a plaque of a Klansman. I forgot what it says on there. Right now, just hanging up there. So that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Daddy. Yeah. So, and why hasn't something like that been removed from a military base where predominantly military is Black men and women? We make up the majority of the military. Right now. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say Black men make up the majority of the military?
I said Black people. Black women, I believe, is like 40%. Of the military, but Black men and women make up the majority of the military are enlisted. You know what I'm saying? So how insulting is it for them to walk into that building every single day and see them, celebrating a Klansman? Like.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I didn't even know that. Really? I need to check that out.
Yeah.
Are we joining the military in large numbers like that?
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, most people join the military, one for the benefits, Black people for the benefits, and then if you can't get out here and get a decent job, you know what I'm saying, you get up in there, you get the benefits, you get free housing, you know what I'm saying, free education, medical, it's a guaranteed job. You can get a good pension out of it later on, depending on the years that you put in. Where else can I really go and get that?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll read a little bit. It says, former soldier who prosecutors claim he enlisted to become better at killing Black people was kicked out of the Army following the FBI investigation that uncovered ties to white supremacist organizations and Nazi ideology. Keelan Ryan was arrested August 26 and charged with one count of knowingly making a false statement on his application for a secret security clearance. According to court records, on the same day he was discharged from the Army for serious misconduct, said Lieutenant Colonel Terrence Kelly, an Army spokesperson. Prosecutors say Ryan operated social media accounts where he was in contact with extremists, including where he made the shocking claim about why he decided to join the military. Ryan had been serving as a fire support specialist and held the rank of specialist when he was discharged, Kelly said. A fire support specialist gathers intelligence and enemy target positions to help the Army in deploying and firing artillery. I'll just start in there. So basically, like he said, he got in there to learn, how to use this weaponry, you know what I'm saying? And his goal was to mass kill Black people.
I was listening for some form of punishment. All I'm hearing is discharge.
He was just kicked out.
Yeah, so all I'm hearing is discharge, but there's no formal investigation on these people that he was tied to and all of that. There's no
I don't see anything.
Potential RICO charges and nothing like that.
No. He got kicked out. Nothing here. Speaks about punishment. Again, they do not punish these people. Now, he got out they discharged him. It doesn't say that they dishonorably discharged him. They just discharged him. Now he'll go apply for the police department.
Right, some shit like that. Right, exactly. Shout out to B1 Beauty Supply in the chat. Ain't you? What's up? Shouldn't you be pulling up to the GodCast for close up on the Black Business Showcase?
Yes, we need you on here.
You better hit us up. We can get you on the schedule. All right, what else we got?
So this one I found on, so this guy was in Georgia. I saw this on Sean King's timeline. So this dude, Christopher Patrick Golden, shot and killed 2 white cops outside of Atlanta in Cobb County last night. This was 2 days ago, you guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, we hadn't heard about it. I haven't seen anything on the news. And as you guys can guess, after shooting 2 police officers dead, he got arrested unscathed, not a pinch on his ass. Not a pinch. Now, what threw me off, though, on Sean's
I couldn't find none of these damn stories.
Oh, it's in there. What threw me off on here, he put, Trump isn't angry. Again, I'm not a Trumpster. I want to make that very, very clear. But I was just confused as to why does Trump need to be mad and not everybody?
Yeah, I see
Like,
what you're saying. Yeah,
white
they
supremacy
always.
did not start with Trump, nor does it end with Trump. We have the white supremacist in chief as president right now, who has specifically, for 50 damn years, wrote policies that negatively impacted Black people, who separated Black families. We have Black men and women in jail right now for weed, under some of his policies. So to me, to point out a Trump, like, it's like, one, you try to, tittle tattle back and forth between holding, the Dems accountable, but also caping for them in a bit, because you haven't said what Biden is doing. What is Biden's Department of Justice or whatever doing about this situation? Why are we talking about a man that's not in office anymore?
Right.
I don't get it.
Agreed.
So if you go in the materials, you'll see him in his orange jumpsuit like he's in court.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, but I'm a little slow right now. I don't know what's going on. But I did see this that kind of coincides with what we was talking about just a second ago, as far as the stories with the dude joining the military so he can learn how to kill Black folks. This thing came out in the AP News the other day about elected officials, police chiefs, and all these people who have ties to the Oath Keepers. Let me pull this up real quick.
And real quick, I'm gonna go off screen really quick. I gotta get a bottle.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing. You're over there babysitting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, elected officials, police chiefs on leaked Oath Keepers list. So the names of hundreds of U.S. law enforcement officers, elected officials, and military members appear on the leaked membership rolls of a far-right extremist group that's accused of playing a key role in the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, according to a report released on Wednesday. And so again, like we was just saying, no big surprise here. It's been confirmed for years now that, law enforcement across the board, as well as the military, has been infiltrated by these groups. Hardcore, card-carrying white supremacists have infested these law enforcement agencies. This is known. That's why when we see these extrajudicial killings taking place by the police and all of that, we don't speak about it in terms of, police needing better training or certain laws that need to be created and all of that stuff. The laws that are on the books are fine if they enforce them. You know what I'm saying? The problem that we have is not with proper police training. This is the problem that we have right here. These people are operating in ghost skin. You know what I'm saying? These are sleeper cells operating in ghost skin, going out committing these crimes against Black folks. That's what we have. Shout out to Afro Elite.
Peace, bro.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna go down a little bit more on the story because there were some high-ranking folks that made the list. Let me see. The Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism poured over more than 38,000 names on leaked Oath Keepers membership list and identified more than 370 people it believes currently working in law enforcement agencies, including as police chiefs and sheriffs, and more than 100 people who are currently members of the military. Another thing that be standing out to me about these stories when they come out too is I'm like, okay, why are these people so sloppy?
Right.
Like, we know that the white supremacists are not this sloppy. You know what I'm saying? They try to paint white supremacists as just being these toothless, meth head, mouth frothing, trailer park trash folks, but these white supremacists are highly sophisticated. Why are they so sloppy? It almost seems to me like it's intentional. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they want it to be known. They want to be able to practice this out in the open. You know what I'm saying? And so let's put it out there and see what the hell they're gonna do about it. That's how it comes across to me. That's how it comes across to me, because it's like all these paper trails and got all these names on the list, and you know what I mean?
Think about the insurrection. I mean, they did all that, and got slaps on the wrist, So there's really no consequences for practicing open white supremacy, and they know this. They know that there's a system there to protect them.
What's the name of that other group?
With the Oath Keepers, then you have the alt-right. Who else?
The ones that they was going to that gay parade recently, and they all got pulled over.
Oh yeah, they wear the tan pants, and I don't remember.
They all had their face covers on and all of that shit. I forgot what the hell their name is. They all the same,
right?
But yeah, it's like they be doing a lot of sloppy shit intentionally. That's how it seems to me.
Patriot Front.
Thank you. But yeah, we could go on to the next.
All right, so this one is in NPR.org. A black protester voiced anger at police in South Carolina. She got 4 years in prison, y'all. This was this article is on September the 6th. So this is out of Columbia, South Carolina. A pregnant black activist serving 4 years in prison for her behavior at racial justice protests will have her sentence reconsidered as she struggles to reach her due date behind bars. Raising questions about free speech and equal justice, Brittany Martin, 34, was found guilty this spring of breaching the peace in a high and aggravated manner over comments she made to police. Her lawyers have been pushing for a lesser sentence amid increasing concerns about her health and that her baby due in November. Advocates with Black Voter Matters have been circulating a petition calling for her release. Civil rights attorney and former state lawmaker Bakari Sellers is telling the judge on September 12th that the punishment is unjust. She's in jail because she talked.
Is Bakari representing her?
Yeah, Bakari Sellers.
Okay.
She's in jail because she talked in America, said Sybil Dion Rosado, her trial attorney. She's a dark-skinned black woman who is unapologetically black and radical.
Who's that speaking?
This is her trial attorney, Sybil Dion Rosado.
Rosado.
Mm-hmm.
Rosado. Bringing that colorism over here. Bringing that colorism over here. Talking about she's a dark-skinned black woman trying to do all these slashes and
we don't do that.
And all of this shit.
We all black.
Right.
You could be albino. You black.
Right. Right. What is you talking about? And I'm just looking at, they said, what was the name of the organization that she founded? Mixed Sisters, founder of Mixed Sisters United. Mixed Sisters United. It's just red flags all over the place.
Yeah.
Red flags all over the place. It's a shame you can't even just see an injustice happening to somebody that look like you and just get behind them like you feel like doing. You know what I'm saying? That's your initial response is to just ride for them. It's a shame that we got to go through this whole vetting process just to see who goes there. Who goes there? Mixed Chicks United? I don't know.
That's something I would get behind. I wouldn't join. Black Chicks United, maybe that, but Mixed Chicks United.
What we doing here? What we doing here? But I mean, still, don't want to see her going through that. Hopefully they do reduce her sentence so she can have her child in the free world and sit your ass down somewhere after that.
Calling out white supremacy is a crime, basically, is what they're saying if you're black or black looking.
Now I keep seeing Biden doing all of this shit for the damn immigrants. What's going on with your man Biden?
Oh yeah, I mean, at the
Trump era immigration rule that got undone recently.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to create a new voting place. I mean, they're blatant with it. I mean, he even got his mammies out there. You got what's her name, Stacey Abrams out there. Going, doing her rounds in Atlanta, and every time she opens up her gap too, she talking about immigration.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She said nothing about Black America, and shout out to Great Black Shark because he been on her head all week.
Stay on her head. Stay on her head because
Great Black Shark
she's
been
a
on her head.
problem. She running around here. She running around here with Lil Baby and all these people. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're not the target audience for her campaign and what she's trying to do. They trying to galvanize the people who are not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Those who are still asleep and they just gonna go along with whatever their favorite rapper says the wave is. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's aiming for. And so we talked about her last week, brought up that bullshit that she was talking about on 85 South show when they asked her, how come, like you just said, how come y'all politicians can't address foundational Black Americans directly? Why does it always have to be people of color and marginalized communities and all of this other stuff? And she was like, well, you really don't have the numbers. You're such a small percentage of the population. If we address you, then we might lose the other people over here. Like
LGBT makes up like 1%.
Right.
Yet millions and millions and millions upon resources go to them and they speak to them loud and proud. You know what I'm saying? With no hesitance. But when it comes to us and that whole bull crap that we're about 12% of the population, we know is a lie, but it doesn't matter. My thing is, if you can speak to all those groups, speak to us too. Even if we are small in numbers, why aren't you speaking to us too? I thought that was a bullshit excuse and it's unacceptable. And I hope that Black Atlanta let her ass know, sit your ass down.
Not just Atlanta though, it's Georgia.
It's not going to be a charge. Yeah, Georgia itself. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that Georgia stands up and tell her to sit her big ass down. We're not playing with you.
Right, sit your big ass down. And y'all got a problem over there in LA too, man. What's Karen Bass doing?
Karen Bass.
Oh my God.
So this nut actually, there's this article that came out, I want to say yesterday or the day before. Allegedly, her house was broken into, y'all. Karen Bass's house was broken into. The only thing that the burglars took was her firearms from her safe. Now, all the valuables in your home, you have electronics, you may have had cash, you may have had jewelry. Your firearms are in a safe. First of all, how did they know where the safe was? And that's all they took was the firearms. Who's your donors? What are you trying to do with gun rights? First of all, in California, we ain't got none already. I mean, there's nothing more that you can really do at this point as far as California when it comes
Weren't they trying to loosen up over there a little bit? Weren't they trying to loosen up some of those gun laws?
Well, so Villanueva, what he was doing, he has literally been, writing off on those CCWs left and right. If you apply, approve. As long as you pass that background check, go through all the other proper channels, approved. Whereas before, you could not just get a CCW unless you were in law enforcement or if you worked for a security company or something like that required it, or if you had a family member in law enforcement. Like that would be the only way that you can get a CCW, where he was just like, well, shoot, you have the right to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? All these snatch and grabs and stuff like that that's going on, etc. People coming up in people's houses. Well, people should have the right to protect themselves. And he was approving it. They don't like that. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted him out so bad. Now, we all know about the, Hispanic gangs, within law enforcement. At the end of the day, they ain't going nowhere because ain't nobody talking about firing them. We can point out the fact that they're there all day. At least allow people to be able to protect themselves from them too, if they have to.
Right.
I'm just saying, But yeah, she's so full of crap. This article came out. As a matter of fact, Geneva shared it yesterday on her Twitter page, and we were like, "This is the biggest lie ever. How did they know where the firearms were? And you're against guns, so why do you have one in your home? Why don't you go buy one, Miss Bass?"
Wow.
I'm just saying.
No.
Let me just say this, y'all. Her ex-husband is Mexican.
And like our brother TD Hip Hop did a expose on her last week too. And he was pointing out, if you go to her page on Instagram, over 90% of the posts are addressing the Hispanic community in LA directly.
Right.
She is not addressing black folks at all.
And get mad.
As a matter of fact, she got real indignant when somebody, what they asked her about?
Where's her policies for us? You're out here on the campaign trail and you're speaking to everyone needs but black people.
Right.
What about us?
She got real indignant about that. Her, she did one of her Clyburn moves.
As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of got upset. If this is the same lady, if I'm not mistaken, y'all, but I believe she got upset with Snoop Dogg because he wasn't supporting her. He publicly said something about his support, for now. We know once they put their, hands around these niggas' necks, they change their mind real quick. But he did say something negative about her running. I haven't heard too much more, but it was kind of a big hoopla about that because he did not get behind her.
Okay, I don't remember that one, but yeah. Snoop.
Oh yeah, it was.
Snoop, stand firm, my nigga. Shit.
Right. Don't change your mind. Stay on that. Stay on that square.
Stand firm, my nigga. Goddamn.
Stay on that square. Yeah, so she's full of it. I just thought that was interesting.
But side note though, is that a shirt or a dress you got on?
It's a dress.
Over there.
I'm rocking a
Stand back. Let's
I'm
rocking
a
You're looking real fly. You're looking real fly.
Yeah,
Let's see what's going on there. Okay. Styling on them.
And once in a while.
We love to see it. But yeah, this speaking of, tacos and chalupas and all of that shit. The Biden administration undoes Trump era immigration rules. So let me see if I remember what this was about. The Biden administration has officially undone Trump era rule that barred immigrants from gaining legal residency if they had utilized certain government benefits, allowing for a return to a previous policy with a narrower scope. So basically Trump was saying, listen, if y'all coming over here, we don't want y'all coming over here getting on welfare. We don't want y'all coming over here, draining the resources and the benefits that are meant to help, Americans who are falling behind or whatever, dealing with hard times or whatever the case may be. We want the people coming over here who got something going on.
Right.
The same way that they tell us in a lot of these other countries, these African countries and all of that, if we want to get some citizenship popping off over there, they want us to come through with a bag. They want us to have some type of business going on that we could bring to the table to help their economy over there. That's the same thing Trump was basically saying. Listen, we don't want the poor ones because those are the ones that get into crime and all of this other shit. You know what I'm saying? These are the ones that contribute to, the ills of society. So Trump was saying we don't want that. We want send us your best.
Right.
Send us your best. We got enough people on government programs over here as it is. So we trying to stabilize the economy and all that. And so Biden is saying, listen, man, it doesn't matter if you need welfare, whatever, just come on. You're entitled just like everybody else.
Bring all your trash over here.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We got a nice care package for you when you show up. We're going to get you your ID on day one. And here, just sign up over here. We make sure you get some food stamps. Make sure you get a health benefit card. And we're going to take care of you, man. Just make it across the border. We got you. Only thing we need you to do is in return is vote blue and help us undermine the niggers.
Right. Which they are already doing.
But the problem is a lot of them get over here and vote red.
Yeah.
That's the problem. A lot of them get over here and still vote red anyway. They be like, thanks, Biden and all that, but let's make America great again.
I thought that this story that I'm going to go into next was very interesting, and it kind of makes me wonder, is this why Negroes in certain positions are scared to do anything for their communities? Because history, right? When a bit of your history and what our ancestors have been through. Is this why you guys feel like you can't do anything? So this was on people.com. Aretha Franklin's unsealed FBI file reveals singer's civil rights actions were being tracked.
Right.
Like,
Right.
wow. Her,
Aretha-
advocating for her own people, especially being that she sung and came out in the heart of, the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? And so her wanting more for her people, and wanting policies for her people. Well, we got to watch this nigga.
Aretha was a real one, man.
That lets you know that too, because our real ones have FBI files.
Right. And the thing is, there's a reason why Farrakhan was front and center at the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Even though they didn't allow him to speak, she wanted him there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure she wanted him to speak too, but too many scared Negroes was around. Like, all right.
Did you
But
see how
I still remember that day though.
Jesse Jackson, they kept their distance. Al was all like, damn, they're sitting like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the thing is, that funeral went on the whole day.
Wasn't it 2 days?
12 hours or some shit.
Yeah.
And Farrakhan was just sitting there poised. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was just sitting there poised, looking godly the whole time, smiling. You know what I'm saying? You seen Clinton falling asleep over there. He was upset. I think he was sitting next to Bill Clinton, wasn't he? Yeah, man.
So it says the FBI was keeping tabs on the late singer Aretha Franklin's civil rights activism in the 1960s and 70s, according to documents recently declassified by a journalist using the Freedom of Information Act. Files obtained by journalist Jean Dies and published in the Substack newsletter Courage News on Thursday indicates that the FBI showed repeated and disgusting suspicion of Franklin as described by Dies. She wrote on Twitter Thursday that she first requested the documents in 2018 when the Respect singer died at the age of 76. The documents denote Franklin's 1967 appearance at a convention hosted by Southern Christian Leadership Conference under Dr. Martin Luther King, as well as Franklin's father, Clarence C.L. Franklin, public discussion of China as a growing power in the 60s. The documents reportedly claim SCLC leadership has taken a hate America and pro-communist line. The FBI tracked Franklin ardently in the 1960s and 70s and even once used a suitable pretext telephone to Los Angeles Ambassador Hotel in November 1972 to determine that the Black Panther Party had contacted Franklin via phone, the documents show. Another document from 1967 describes as a summary of racial situation in Atlanta, Georgia, shows an FBI source thought performance by Franklin, Sammy Davis Jr., Marlon Brando, and the Supremes at a Martin Luther King memorial would provide emotional spark which could ignite racial disturbance in this area, as the documents note that some of the group have supported militant Black power concepts.
Please.
Hear us.
All that means is you acknowledge your Blackness and you're not under our control.
So you're a threat.
Right. That means you're a threat. You care about your people. You want to use your resources to help your people. And you're not under our control. So we don't know how far this is gonna go. We don't know where this is gonna go. So we got to keep track of your ass.
Daddy fixed it.
Crazy. So it just makes me wonder, though. Obviously, she's not the only one who's been tracked, and it makes me wonder. All of them being, tracked right now. Jigga Jay, I know he is because that's why he, claims that what he was doing for the NFL. Because we're beyond kneeling, all this stuff, yet he's done nothing, specifically for his people either. I mean, he's giving away some turkeys and backpacks and some little things, but nothing on a large scale. Nothing on a large scale. And is this why? Is what I'm saying.
I understand what you're
What
saying.
are the consequences? I guess. What are the consequences for someone saying, you know what, we have all this money, I'm about to buy up the block, right? Clean the block up and create subsidized housing for, Black impoverished communities, create some programs so that they can get education and training and stuff so that they can get themselves out of this situation. What would be the consequence for that? Because we really haven't seen anyone really do that. What would be the consequence?
Well, the cost of freedom is death. You know what I'm saying? And, we understand some of the moves our brother Nipsey was making in the community. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do some of the things with what you just mentioned. And so we see what that resulted in. You know what I'm saying? And so people do fear, people do have fear of things of that nature. And they do enjoy the comforts that come along with, their silence and just going along with the status quo. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like, people got to do what it is that's in their heart to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to step outside their lane because I think that they would cause more harm than anything else. You know what I'm saying? I only want the riders to stand up.
Right. And if you ain't about that life, stick your ass to the side because we don't need you. You gonna
right. And my only thing is just stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna be a rider, that's fine. Just don't play for the other team. That's all I ask. Just stay out the way.
Yeah, but the ones that are in these positions, unfortunately, that where they can make some changes for the community, they don't. Let's be very clear. They just don't, and they start spewing the same, anti-Black talking points as their paymasters. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some of them, niggas don't want nothing. You can't help Black people because Black people don't want nothing. It's the Hispanic. They hard workers. The Blacks don't want nothing. No, Black people want opportunities. One, we don't want to be looked down on if we do come to you for help, for some of these opportunities. Don't talk down to me. Don't look down on me. And you're going to pay me the right amount of money. Right. I'm not an immigrant. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, give me crumbs, for some papers that I don't have. I belong here, right? So pay me what I'm worth and I will work damn hard for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's another thing that a lot of Negroes who are in position to do something for their people, they're scared that this person is going to outshine them. They're scared that this person is going to dethrone them. They're scared that they're not going to get that shine, that pat on the head from massa.
That's true. And people have that thing where they feel like the special Negro, and there's really a low group self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the brother's name, man. Scholar that comes out of the UK. I forgot his name, man. But he talks about, most Black people have high self-esteem. The majority of us have a high personal self-esteem, but we have a very low group self-esteem, meaning, you know what I'm saying, you think highly of yourself, but you think very low of the group that you belong to. You know what I'm saying? You see your group through the lens of the white supremacists. So you really think Black people ain't shit in your mind, and there's just something special about you. If you got any type of success in your personal life, there's just something special about you. And if the rest of the Negroes would just get more like you, then there wouldn't be nothing to complain about. They don't want to acknowledge the system for what it is and the open enemy for how they really get down.
And you know what I hate for them to say too? This is another thing that I hear them say a lot. You got to play the game. No, nigga, you being played. You know what I'm saying? Because you playing the game ain't did shit for your community or your people, not in a large scale. I'm not talking about, your community, getting some backpacks, like I said, a free lunch program. You know what I'm saying? Or even, some training or something like that on a large scale. When you and when you have these programs in your community and you're helping everyone but yours,
that's what really
your excuse is, well, the Black people don't want to know. You're not coming to the Black community and speaking to the Black community. You're not. And see, what I learned let me say, break something. What I also learned is a lot of these companies too, not just companies, nonprofits and stuff like that. There's a lot of you have the Immigration Act of 1965, and then you also have a lot of these bills that they have specifically for immigrants, where if they come out here, some on say temporary visas, and they're allowed to work, at these companies, and they have to go back, back to after their visas expire, the company itself can sponsor them for citizenship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a whole lot of shit that goes on in a lot of these bills that I'm just learning about, honestly, within the last month, that allows these people to come in here and take jobs that we need. And then you have Negroes, right, that are in positions to help other Negroes say, well, Black people don't want it. Black people lazy. These niggas don't want shit. These niggas just want to smoke weed and smoke dope. Nigga, if you don't shut your stupid ass up.
Right.
I know many Black people that want opportunities, not to say that they haven't, messed up in the past. And a lot of times that messing up in the past came from
lack of opportunity.
Lack of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, miss me with that bullshit. I hate it. I hate people saying Black people don't want shit. We know that there's some out there that don't, but the majority of us do. And it tells me a lot about you, because why is it that you, who's in a position to do something to change, the only ones you seem to come in contact with are the ones that don't want shit?
Right. Man. Yeah, and speaking of special Negroes and this whole mentality, here go a good example of it right here. This is what it looks like in real time.
Oh, yeah.
And let's disregard how this may be making her feel right now. Look at her having a breakdown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put me through so much, and then when I finally start responding, now I'm crazy. Now I'm having a mental breakdown.
It's always the same playbook, though.
Right. But then I had to really just learn that that's what comes with being a powerful woman. When you don't show any weakness, they try to keep on figuring
100%.
out what is it that's going to make her tick. As much as you come at me, I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna come at you
just by
with my confidence. Right. I'm gonna come at you with just my life. Maybe one day you'll get tired. I don't know. But you're not gonna break me down.
Yeah.
I bet you get worn out before I do. And listen.
You get around these people who have devastated your community and start cockeying and keying and letting them gas you up to talk about all of these non-issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about the fact that you're a woman and all of this other shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Why these people done ravaged your whole goddamn community. The reason why you grew up in the conditions that you had to grow up in was directly because of this woman that you're sitting in front of cockeying and keying.
Right. And then she'll be twerking for whoever the Democratic candidate is.
Yo, so this twerking shit, man. Yo, this twerking shit, man. This shit is out of control. I kept seeing, like, they got that show about the She-Hulk. Everything is about she this, she that now. You know what I'm saying? They got the show on about the She-Hulk, and Megan Thee Stallion showed up on there, and that shit was just everywhere. I wasn't hearing nothing about the show until Megan came on there. And I keep seeing all these headlines of Megan Thee Stallion, the iconic appearance of Megan Thee Stallion and shit. And so I ended up clicking on one of them shits after I seen a million of them shits. I'm like, let me see what the hell she did that was so iconic. And what did she do? Twerk. She was twerking with the She-Hulk. She taught the She-Hulk how to twerk. And that was the iconic appearance that everybody needs to watch the show for. I'm like,
I'm going to say this, and I may be wrong, but this is what my gut tells me. So you guys know how Dewan B was on, and Dr. Umar, Cynthia G with her ugly self, and then that trans man, was on the show, and they didn't tell the guests that was a dude, what I'm saying, that was sitting there, a trans dude to woman, whatever. However, I don't know the political terms. Anyway, I'm going to say this, and I just feel it in my gut. Meg Thee Stallion is a dude. She gives me strong face I've looked and I've looked so deep, and I see a dude. I'm sorry, I see a dude, and it's gonna be announced later.
Damn.
Watch all the time. This was a whole nigga. Watch, this a nigga.
Only reason why I think not, I think it's a real chick, and the only reason why I think that is because I know her dude. The dude that she date. He's from around my way. I think I know him.
Are you talking about party?
Yeah, Partisan Forte. Partisan Forte. Yeah, he's from around my way. He a real dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a real dude.
But they like those too nowadays. You know, he's stepping up as he might be stepping up as what's his name said. What was old boy? I don't know. It just gives
Malik
me
Yoba.
Yeah, she just gives me strong face vibes. It's strong. Just look at that. Go back and look at that video and just zoom in a little bit.
I know what you're talking about. I see it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, damn, she kind of strong. She definitely ain't as fine as they be trying to make it seem like she is. Like she all right at best. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I don't know. They do great work these days.
They do very great work.
Did you see? I think we talked about this actually. Did we? They had at the Serena's tennis match. They had what's the transgender's name that was on Orange Is the New Black?
Oh yeah, Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox was at the tennis match with a COVID mask on. And somebody said they thought it was Beyonce. It was a regular dude. Now, it was funny style. We didn't talk about it, actually. I wanted to talk about it. I think it was last week. But the dude that made the tweet saying that he thought it was Beyonce, he only had like a couple hundred followers or whatever the case may be, and then his page blew up overnight. And I seen he had a whole bunch of content, like professional looking content, already on deck. So I'm like, this seemed like it was manufactured.
Right.
It seemed like it was manufactured because why did the media get a hold of some random dude's tweet and keep repeating it, making it a headline and making it trend? Oh, Laverne Cox gets mistaken for Beyonce. Ain't nobody think that was no damn Beyonce.
Period. First of all, he not even built like Beyonce.
Yo, y'all going in. Y'all going in.
We're not playing today.
Madam Strong facing tit.
Yes.
Stallion is a male horse. Yeah.
Yes. Think about it.
Maybe that's why she goes by Stallion.
All the subliminals. And honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it on those lines. It's something about,
she got a certain look.
See, we know other women. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in person, you can't fool us.
Yeah,
like, listen, that's
maybe she's looked like her daddy. I don't know.
I don't know. I wanted to touch on real quick before we jump into the next topic, because I was talking about the 1990. It's the Immigration Reform Act of 1990, which is being used to displace Americans. You also have the J-1 visa. It's a cultural exchange visa, and it's used to bring foreign exchange students. And we give them taxpayer free residency. We paying for them to come here to go to school as foreign exchange students, and we're also paying for them to live here. And majority of the time, they don't leave. You also have a H-28 visa. These are all types of different visas that these people are allowed to come over here on. The H-28 visa, then you have a dual intent visa, which is called the H-1B, where employers can sponsor them for citizenship.
Now, that's the one that I think that the tech companies be bringing, like the Asians and the Indians over here. The H-1B1 visa, when they could be, they could be cultivating, homegrown programmers and coders and all of that here, but they outsourcing it and bringing these people who identify as Caucasian,
right,
from all of these other countries. You know what I'm saying? Just to undergird, not even just Black Americans, but Americans, period.
Americans, period.
But Black Americans especially. You know how that goes.
Exactly. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, we need to do with that if there's any way, you know, possible. Again, when we're, you know, cultivating our own candidates, we need to figure out how we can get rid of some of these, you know, bills, these visas, and all these things that were written. You know, at least some type of reforming to these things need to be done in mass, because again, it's displacing Black people, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans in high numbers. And again, your coon class are telling Black people they don't want to work. We just don't want that.
To me, that's something that could be corrected, you know, with us receiving our protected class status. You know what I'm saying? You know, making foundational Black Americans a protected class, it goes beyond just, you know, stopping the police killings and all of that, but just assuring our stability overall. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that we get first access to certain opportunities when it comes to contracting, when it comes to licensing, education, loans, things of that nature, making sure that we are made priorities when it comes to those things as part of our repair is, you know, how we can offset some of that bullshit.
Exactly. And it goes down. It's the leadership. And as soon as we see these people who are campaigning, which they're really not campaigning to us, as you notice, they're campaigning towards these groups who will benefit from all of these policies. And we pay for it too. I'm a taxpaying citizen. Right. You know, so I would like to see my tax dollars go to, you know, Black youth, you know, that want to maybe get into tech and other types of programs out here. I would like to see my tax dollars, you know, build up our people.
I need some help.
Yeah,
you know, I need some help. I'm taking advantage of as much of the free programs as I can, as far as getting 7 familiar with coding and things of that nature. They do have a lot of online free like courses and stuff like that I put them onto, but you know, some resources would definitely help to be able to send them to one of these. They got a lot of them little schools, I guess you would call them.
Yeah.
Programming schools. They got a lot of them around here, but it's hella expensive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. LA Trade Tech here in LA, you know, they're charging like university amounts to go there, you know, to be honest. You know, so if you don't qualify for a grant of some sort, you have to pay to go, and it's very expensive. Very expensive. And that's where my son plans to go next year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I need to see some of my money go to programs for Black Americans, you know, and I would guarantee that all the naysayers that say Black people don't want nothing, as soon as you do away with all this bullshit and appeal a lot of this shit, you'll see a lot more Black people.
Yeah, they know that's bullshit. They know that's bullshit.
Exactly.
They just hoping you believe it. They playing on that self-esteem.
The way these Negroes be talking, a lot of Negroes believe it, and it's sad. And it's I bump heads all day because you're not gonna tell me, especially what Black men want. I'm tired, especially Black women. It's the old sector. A lot of them is old, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm tired of these heifers. You know what I'm saying? Like, sit down somewhere. This is why we are messed up right now. This is why a lot of us, not me specifically, but I did have that mindset previously. You know, that, you know, I'm a strong Black woman. I don't need this. I don't need this. I got it. You know, all I got to do is just work hard for myself and take care of myself. You know, I don't need this. I don't need that. Not knowing I'm talking myself out of help. Not knowing that I do need help. I need protection. One, I need love. Two, I need a man here to help me with a young man that I'm raising. I can't teach him how to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So to say these things, you know, and mean it, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going out in the world and telling other young women, girl, you don't need no man. All you need to do is get you a job, get you a career, focus on yourself. Well, where is her help? Where's her protection? Who is she going to have children with? She going to bump pussies and get pregnant? No. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying go out here, just fuck on niggas, get a baby and raise them yourself, and then turn around and call that same man a deadbeat at the same time. Like, it makes zero sense, y'all.
It's an epidemic, man. It's an epidemic. That's a good topic for y'all, by the way.
Oh yeah, we on it. Yeah. Yeah, y'all, we got some stuff coming. We're gonna be talking about this stuff because I think it's up to us, my age group, even younger, I'll say 30 and up, maybe 35 and up. Like, we're gonna have to change the tone. We're gonna have to change the messaging when it comes to the relationships between Black men and Black women. We have to, because if we don't, we're gonna have another generation of women and men that can't get it together. And we can't do this anymore. It's us against the world, not men against Black men against Black women. It's us together against white supremacy.
We in the same boat. We in the same boat. We in the same boat, man. But so what do we do? What do we do with the feminists out here? Do we just got to put them in the same box with the tethers? Because, that kind of, it sounds like the same argument to me. Like, we ain't got time to be fighting amongst each other, but you have too many people that have that mentality that we just can't do nothing with.
You can't do nothing with them. You definitely have to shame them. You definitely have to shame them. You have to put their asses on blast. Shut that shit down. They're going to get some act right up in these spaces. With the Black women that I plan, to talk to. Y'all going to get some act right up in here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because,
I be bombarding my daughter. I know my daughter get tired of my shit sometimes. I be sending her all type of information, just specifically to offset that type of mentality, because I know that, it's being programmed through the media. You know what I'm saying? I know that even in her school, I think it was her freshman year, they had her in like an all girls class, and they was watching like old Oprah shows and all of this stuff. I'll be like, yo, keep me posted every day. Every day we got to talk about what happened in school today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the good thing is she values my opinion. She's interested in my perspective when it comes to these things. Whenever they trying to teach us something to sound a little funny style, she's like, that's my dad. She be hitting me in the middle of class sometimes. Take a picture, take a picture of her work or whatever the case may be. Dad, what you think about this? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm glad that she at least values, my perspective and
involved,
But it's just me. It's me against the world. It's me against all this other shit that she's being bombarded with.
But guess what? What you teaching her, she's teaching one of her friends. You know what I'm saying? She's spreading the message too. Because she may have, a friend in her classroom that doesn't have the type of father, that's teaching her this. And when they're having their little girl conversations and, little friends sounding like a little young feminine in the making, she's like, wait a minute, sis, let me school you a little bit. Our kids understand what to do. My son preaches to his friends all the time about getting themselves together. He has a job, which, it's a after school job, weekend type of job, not his future, but he understands about making money. He tells me now, by the time I'm this age, I want to do this X, Y, and Z. I want to be able to provide for my family. I want to be able to do this. And these are conversations that we have. We're talking about what to look for in a woman, not just outer exterior. You know what I'm saying? But what does her mind yet look like? What type of woman do you want to raise your children? Because at the end of the day, while you running your business and providing, she's the one who's going to be teaching and building up the mind of your child. What type of woman do you see raising your offspring? What type of kids do you want? So it's so much. And we have these conversations. And unfortunately for me, I have to have these conversations. I don't feel like he has that balance, with the male conversations a lot. So a lot of times, y'all, I'll be talking to Sincere. I'm hitting him up, in our back channels, like, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And he'll be like, first of all, stop calling him your baby.
I ain't got the answer, Sway.
So he be checking me, on certain things because I be needing that male advice. I have a 17-year-old and I'm trying to raise, I don't want an effeminate male, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also a woman, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I be needing that help. The village part for me it's not there, so I'll seek it, outside a lot of times.
Yeah, man. We all need the help, man. Is because a lot of times just being the parent, sometimes the information don't hit the same because it's like, oh, that's my mom, that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to tell me that. And so, like, just recently, my son was at the barbershop with me, my older son, 18-year-old. And one of my dudes, one of my clients, former NFL player, Liberian brother, real cool though, on code like a motherfucker. and he's like mid-30s. He's single. He don't got no kids, and you know, he out there dating or whatever the case may be. And he hits me up a lot for advice whenever he meets a chick that he think he feeling.
I have a 27-year-old.
Oh yeah, we know this. But whenever my man, you know, he'll link up with a chick that he feeling a little bit, he'll usually hit me up or he'll come to the barbershop and tell me about it and just get my opinion on it or whatever. But I actually like the way that he goes about vetting these women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before he's not single unintentionally. He's single intentionally with no kids, intentionally because he hasn't found the one that he wants to settle down and make a family with. And so I wasn't thinking like that when I was younger, when I was his age and all that. And so I respect the way that he goes about it. And so when he was there, my son was there, I pulled my son to the side. I'm like, yo, give me your top five things that you look for in a woman before you wife her up. You know what I'm saying? And he was breaking it down to my son. And so I know he need to hear it from somebody like him more than he need to hear it from me, because again, this is a successful young dude, a former NFL player, running his own business now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's living a good life, and he hasn't made that mistake of choosing the wrong women to procreate with. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And so it's more respectable, I think, for a young dude, 18 years old, than listening to your pop. Sometimes it's like, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to have a relationship with my future daughter-in-law and son-in-law. When I was married, my mother-in-law and I were literally inseparable and best friends. And we're still good to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still her daughter. That's still my mother-in-law to me, because we built such a genuine relationship, like super duper close. And I would love to have that with my future daughter-in-law, like shopping together. And
that's
my
ideal.
mother-in-law would, you know, scratch my scalp, wash my hair. You know what I'm saying? When I had my daughter, it was like, I want y'all over here. Like, I would love to have that, you know, relationship with my future daughter-in-law.
That's ideal. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? It's a family.
It is.
It's a family. You know what I mean?
And I'm definitely going to get him this book. Thank you so much, Great Black Shark. I will be ordering it today.
I got it over here somewhere. I was just reaching for it.
Oh, you're looking for it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get it, because, you know, these things are important. I like to, when I introduce him to books, I like to read it first, and then I put it on him, because after I read it, he can't lie to me and say that he read it, because I like to talk about it. Like, I'm the mother. When he gets home from school or work, I go in the room, sit in the chair, and I love to just have conversations with him. Life, you know, conversations and things like that. Like, it's important.
My thing is finding, you know, I take in a lot of this information and I find ways to package it that are more digestible for them, because my kids don't really have a big reading appetite. My older children, and they don't have a big reading appetite to sit down and read a big book like that. Like my daughter, she likes to read like poetry books and like quick reads and stuff like that. But if I hand her the ISIS papers, that thing gonna collect dust.
Oh, same with him. I have to make him like literally ride his back.
Yeah. And so I try to package the information, like my rhymes, my songs. You know, they listen to my songs. You know what I'm saying? But the content that I create online and stuff like that. So they get the information in different ways. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we do the best that we can, man. We do the best that we can.
You know, and just to say, you know, his father is in his life. I don't want to make it seem like his father is not in his life. Like that. It's just they're like friends, you know, they hang out, they, you know, play video games and stuff like that. And when it comes to life lessons, he looks to me. He tells me for that.
Does his father have other children?
He has a daughter, older daughter.
Older daughter? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little different. I think like when it gets to this age, late teens, early 20s and all of that, it gets tricky. Mm-hmm. Your first go round, it's like, okay, you know, I did a great job with them when they were younger, but for me, you know what I'm saying, when it got to like that transition into adulthood, it's like, okay, what do I do now? Now I need help. I need some reinforcements now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I made so many mistakes during that transition And there were so many positive things that I didn't get to experience. I didn't go to college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't even know what the process is like, you know, applying to college and, you know, SATs. I don't know nothing about none of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't even barely do high school.
I went,
you know
but I didn't finish. I went and I didn't do university. I only did community. You know what I'm saying? But I did do a little bit, you know, but I did go through it with my daughter. You know, her going to college, going away to college in Texas, you know, the whole checking into the dorm. And, you know, I had that experience with her, you know, but not for myself. I wouldn't be the example, you know, of that for her.
Ain't she looking fly? Dawn Bishop trying to choose.
What's up, Dawn? No, thank you. But yeah, you know, it doesn't come with a manual. And I also with his father kind of wasn't, he was kind of in and out of his life. And so when it comes to my son, a lot of stuff gets awkward for him, especially now that he's becoming a young man, you know, getting a mustache going on. We found some hairs coming down. He getting a little beard, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he actually came over the other day to see him, and my son is taller than him completely. Like, it's done. There's no more almost. You're not shoulder to shoulder anymore. It's done. He's taller than his dad. You know, so for him, he looks at him like this is still my little boy, but you know, he's a man. Yeah. You know, so my son is like, when I talk to my dad about girls, like if they're riding down the street, my son will be like, Dad, you seen her? He said his dad gets awkward about it. He's like, I want to talk about girls. If I see somebody with a nice body, I want to tell him. And he's like, my dad doesn't engage with me like that. Like he treats me like a little kid, you know, versus me, like we don't have that conversation, but he can talk to me about girls. He can talk to me about dating. He can talk to me about sex, all these things. And it's nothing awkward that we haven't talked just like I'm talking to you, you know, but I'm giving him advice at the same time and not making it awkward. But his dad just cannot let go the little boy side of him. And I'm like, dude, he's bigger than you. You have to, he's a man now. Like, you got to talk to him like one.
Right.
Can't put him in that little boy box anymore.
Right. I always gave it to mine straight anyway. You know what I'm saying? Man, I probably did too much too soon. Keep it a buck. You know what I mean? But my thing, I always felt like, and still sometimes feel like I'm just running out of time. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you anything I got right now. Like you're gonna get all that. Like that's just I don't know what it is, man. Like I don't even want to speak those words, but you know what I'm saying? Time is of the essence.
Time is always of the essence, especially with Black youths. You know what I'm saying? We unfortunately, because the things that we have to tell them, even when they're little, you have to work as harder than everybody. You know what I'm saying? You have to watch out for
that black tax.
Yeah, all this stuff that we have to kind of instill in them in a young age in order to protect them. So time is of the essence. We don't have time, you know, to coddle, if you will, you know, which, you know, with my daughter, I did a lot of coddling. You know, I wasn't in this space that I am right now, you know, as far as knowing self, you know what I mean? So with her, it was a lot of sheltering and, you know, love everybody, blah, blah, blah. So now, you know, changing is like now I had to actually deprogram her versus with my son, I was all kind of, you know, more on it, you know, while he was younger. But her, it was more the deprogramming.
See, this should have been the title and the theme of today's show. This conversation right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what it should have been. We shouldn't be talking about no damn Elizabeth. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man.
May she rest in peace.
Dawn Bishop, man, you acknowledge the Fendi logos and all that, but you ain't even see the Haitian flag. What's up, man? You know what I mean? What's going on, Zoe? You ain't say nothing about the Haitian flag. You know what I mean? Thought you was a real Zoe, man.
Yeah, I got on my earrings. I got on my Bottega heels. You know, I was just doing a little designer today. I usually don't, y'all. You know, it's Sunday, you know, rest day, but thought I'd just be cute for y'all today.
All right, shout out to Seduction Doll.
What's up, Seduction Doll? I like that name. We might have to get her on our future show. Just Seduction that name.
Doll. I don't know, man.
Doll. Yeah, no.
Sound like a city girl to me.
Hey, look, we got to start somewhere.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you, seduction dog. I know you ain't on that type of time. I know you ain't on that type of time. Make sure you hit that like button, though. Everybody that just came up in here, make sure y'all hit that like button, that share button, and subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Hit the notification bell so you can be reminded. You know we do this every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Sincere Love the Godcast, where we talk about important issues like we did here tonight or this afternoon, and current events, so on and so forth. And make sure you check us out on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, where we have our weekly series called The Black Business Showcase, where we bring on business owners and entrepreneurs and chop up good game about business. Make sure y'all tune in for that.
And who we got this Wednesday?
Who we got this Wednesday?
This Wednesday, we got Urban X NYC.
Urban X NYC.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to my dude Black Dot. Shout out to Malcolm. They'll be here this Wednesday. That's gonna be an exciting show. You know what I mean?
I see that content already, so I was like, oh, this ain't gonna even be work. This gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. They do what they do. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See, you know, I'm gonna leave you alone, Don Bishop. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'll get on you when I see you in the shop.
You know he just like to fuss, Don. You know he just like to talk shit. That's what he does.
But quick reminders before we get out of here, you guys. I know some of y'all wasn't on here when we first joined, but I wanted to remind y'all to support our brother Moses West. Is that the name?
Foundation.
Where's the link? Oh, you emailed it to me.
Yeah, I emailed it to you actually.
Let me go back to my email real quick.
Make sure you guys are supporting the Moses West Foundation. As we all know, there is a water crisis going on in Jackson, Mississippi. There's also some water situations going on here in Flint as well as Baltimore, y'all. So, when the rain pours,
something happened with your sound.
Me?
Yeah, you just started sounding robotic for a second.
Oh, I don't know.
Say it again. Repeat what you were saying.
When it rains, it pours. Meaning, once, Jackson's situation gets, cleared up, thanks to the grassroots, right? Black grassroots, it trickles down to others, predominantly black cities and states. So we also have a situation in Baltimore. Our brother, once he finishes in Jackson, Mississippi, we don't know. He may have to move on over here to Baltimore to help the folks in Baltimore. So make sure that you guys are, sharing, following him on Instagram, following his website, or going on his website. You can reach his website from his Instagram page in the profile. Click on the link there and make sure you're donating, but also follow his work. Look at the good work that he is doing. This is a Army vet, so he served our country, and now he's serving our people with what they need. So please donate.
All right. Let me see real quick. Okay, now that's 5 minutes long. I thought it was something short. But yeah, follow Moses West Foundation on Instagram and click the link in his bio to donate to the cause.
As a matter of fact, here it is. I have it here. I just wanted to touch on it too. Baltimore is now dealing with its own water crisis because of E. coli contamination. This is on the root.com. We don't really like the root, but sometimes they give good news information. And this was on Wednesday. So their water is contaminated with E. coli out there, in Baltimore. So again, as long as we support foundations and organizations such as Moses West Foundations, we can make sure that our people are getting, clean, good water. So make sure you guys are following him and also donating.
Yes, indeed. And so that kind of does it, don't it?
Did y'all enjoy the show?
Let us know, man. Put his number 7 in the chat if y'all enjoyed today's broadcast. Again, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you guys share this out. They don't really get us in the algorithms like that. So we need y'all to be the street team out here. Appreciate everybody tapping in as always. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if there's anything else that I need to announce, but I think that's it.
I think that's it for now. You know, until Wednesday, make sure you guys are tapped in on Wednesday as we have our special guest, Urban X NYC, on the Black Business Showcase. Also, if there are any entrepreneurs, Black businesses out there, please hit me up, DM me, email me, you know, on my Instagram page. If you know someone that you would love to see on the Godcast, let me know. I'll reach out to them. You know what I'm saying? But we would love to have you on the Godcast. We would love to support your business and discuss, you know, business. Right?
So what's your email? So what's your Instagram?
nyctegur with the number 1, as you can see right here on the screen. Just put the @ sign, right? Go on Instagram and type in nyctegur with the number 1, and you can find me there. Hit me in the DM, y'all.
Yes, indeed. And I am at Sincere Love to God on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys are following me as well. And also, of course, check out the music on your favorite social media platforms. Master Elements, The Spear and the Shield is available on all your favorite streaming platforms as well. And you know you guys can always support the Godcast via Cashapp. My Cashapp is $ Sincere Love with the number 7 and nyctegur without the L. Just nyctegur. Out this man. $, nyctegur. So yeah, all donations are appreciated, of course. And we'll see you guys in a couple of days. So also just remember.
Follow me on Twitter. On Twitter is without the 1, by the way. Follow me on Twitter, y'all. Make sure you're following me on Twitter as well as Instagram. And Black businesses, entrepreneurs, please hit us up.
Yes, indeed. Keep this in mind, family. We are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Peace and Black love.
Most resilient, we poster children of prophecy fulfillment. We gotta be God's children.